Welcome to the Pathway Podcast with Holly, Amal, Min and Maddie. I'm Francesca, the Student Experience Officer at the Pathway College, and I'll be your host for today. We'll kick off with a few introductions from my lovely panel.
Hi guys, I'm Holly. I'm Student Services Officer at the Pathway College.
And hi everyone, I'm Amal and I'm a current student at the Pathway College studying law.
Hi guys, I'm Min. I am doing my year 2 in Brunel University. I'm doing marketing management and I did my first year with Pathway College Business and Management.
Hello everyone, I'm Maddie. I am an alumni of the Pathway College and a current year 2 student of Business and Management at Brunel.
Perfect. Lovely to see you all. This is our first ever podcast at the Pathway College. I know, a lot of P's. This is episode 1, how to prepare for university. We thought it was the perfect time with our January intake just around the corner. Let's talk how to prepare for university. So to kick off, top tips before starting your studies. Well, I know it sounds cliche, but we're going straight into it. I think, again, I'm being biased. I'm the Student Experience Officer, so I'm going to kick off with how to get involved in our Welcome Week. And I know, Amal, one of our current students, I think you've got a little bit to add here, haven't you?
Yep, indeed so. So I did take part in the Welcome Week back in September of 2021. And I highly enjoyed it because it gave a very good kickstart to the year. Because obviously before you start university, you are a bit nervous. And when you see so many students coming into those webinars that you get offered to go to, it's just very reassuring that everyone is as excited and as confused as you are. So it's very calming, I guess, you know. So the Welcome Week has all types of Zoom webinars, and I joined majority of them. The one that I mainly enjoyed at the time, which is also happening this time round, is how to understand Zoom, because I had never previously used Zoom. So, because I was using Teams when I was doing A-levels, so I knew how to use that, but I didn't even turn my cameras on. So it was a very new experience getting to use Zoom, and it was very informative, very helpful, and it was a very good experience for me. And there was another one which was about it was like a course specific one, and unfortunately there was a very small group that was there because not many people actually knew about it. So
and you're studying law, Amal, aren't you?
Exactly.
I love it. And I've also got to add, you're taking over Holly and I's job right now. You know, you're rolling off the
She's a pro at Zoom.
Oh no, that's a really good thing to add with the course specific talks. They are so useful because you get to meet your lecturers, you get an introduction to what to expect when you start your course. No, God, I love it. We've just jumped straight into it, girls, haven't we? Because God, no, but I think, no, Amal, what you were talking about in terms of it feeling really overwhelming when you first go to university, it's such a big step, isn't it? From especially, I mean, you're in the UK, so you were doing your A levels, but again, for our international students, they're flying from the other side of the world. I mean, Min and Maddie, how did you guys find that?
Can I talk about my Welcome Week as well? Back
in
2020. So before I joined it, so I studied my bachelor degree back in Korea, and that was completely a different course, and this was my second course. And I was quite nervous because my first year course had accounting and statistics, and I was away from math for 6 years.
Wow.
And I was really nervous. So I had a Welcome Week meeting with my lecturer, and luckily enough, she was my accounting lecturer. So I told her I have one concern, I genuinely graduated my high school ages ago, and math wasn't my thing back in the days, and still now. Now how can I go
still
through
not my thing?
There you go. And genuinely, she made me feel really good because she told me, can you add things? Can you minus things? Can you divide things? I was like, yeah, that's the basic. If you can do it, you will do it.
Amazing.
That? Oh,
And funny
we all
enough-
need someone like
Reassuring.
that in our life.
Literally,
Yeah.
I got so scared, and I got so many help from her, and also my seminar lecturer from accounting. I literally got A* in accounting.
Oh wow,
Check you out.
that's
And-
amazing.
Yeah,
we only
literally.
invite the A* students to the Pathway podcast, guys.
So yeah, I just want to say, welcome week. Like, just pop through all the questions. If you have any concerns, lecturers will help you.
Definitely, as well as student services team. You know,
Student
we're right here.
services.
We're here, we're ready.
I love that. And I suppose on the sort of topic and theme of sort of welcome week, getting involved in university, I mean, of course, you know, got my biggest top tip, just get involved from day one. And I know my fellow student services colleague Holly. Oh, I sound very official there, colleague Holly.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever called you my colleague. And then my right hand woman, Holly.
You know.
I know that you've had a bit of experience with clubs and societies in the past.
Definitely. No. So when I was at university, I got involved with everything. You know, it's the best way to meet people, to have a sense of belonging over, you know, something that you share, you have something in common that you enjoy. So I used to do dance and netball. So sport is just a great thing to get involved with, you know, all around the world, everyone loves sport. So yeah, please just get involved with everything that you can. Yeah, it was a bit daunting because of course you don't know anybody there, you turn up by yourself, but you have that shared interest. So you're gonna, you know, make conversation, you're gonna be able to bond with these people. And actually that became the highlight of my university experience because I was, you know, there every week. You know, we had games, socials were a massive part of it as well. And even tours, you know, I was able to travel with my society.
That's
and that
incredible.
That was a great experience in itself. But I could bore you to death. If you ever want to come and speak to me about it, then please do. Just come into the office and I'll go into more detail. But yeah,
Well,
just get involved from day dot.
I think this is a great time for us to say that last semester, Hip Hop Holly did a dance taster session. Can we have a woo?
Please don't refer to me as that. I mean, you can just call me Holly.
Holly, yeah, sorry. I'll always know. I love
Were you
Hip
the
Hop
hip hop
Holly.
instructor? What happened?
Well,
Was-
Holly, we did do a dance taster session, and we advertised it as Hip Hop Holly. I even took part. I'll say, absolutely incredible teacher, Holly. You know, oh God, guys, honestly, if you ever want a bit of, you know, popping, you know, a bit of dance moves, she's your gal.
She's not biased at all.
No,
is
no.
she? It was a lot of fun, actually. It was nice to, you know, see our students as well, because especially over the past few years, we've been locked away, and actually bringing everybody together, there was an opportunity to meet them. But yeah, Francesca, you were all right. I think you need a few more lessons, but we'll get there.
Well, that's a cue for then saying next semester, watch this space, more sessions are to follow. I love that. Oh dear. And I suppose, God, I mean, one of the things I always think when you first go to university, you think, God, where am I going to live? And I suppose, well, at Brunel on the campus, it's obviously, I mean, you're surrounded by university accommodation, aren't you? There's always a halls, one place or another. I remember the students coming to me saying, I live in so-and-so halls. And I'd be like, oh gosh, I've just started working here. I have no idea what you're talking about. But I think I've got to come to Maddie for this one, because I know that in your first year, you did live in university halls on campus, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So that was back in 2019, which feels like forever ago, yet not at the same time. But yeah, so that was an amazing experience. But first of all, I want to say I'm sorry for sounding the way that I do. I'm just a bit ill. Hopefully that's not a problem. But yeah,
you sound fabulous, Maddie. Don't you worry.
Education right here.
So yeah, going back to living in halls. So that was back when things were still normal. We could still live like normal people, be around people and other people. So that was really great. I think it really worked well for me because I'm not a person who likes to introduce themselves to people a lot. So being forced to like live in this space, well, not forced is the wrong word, but being in this space with new people and people who are in similar situations to me was really great in terms of making friends. So if anyone's considering it but unsure, I would highly recommend it. It's just the easiest way to make friends. Pretty much the first week that you're there, really.
And like you said, Maddie, you're all in the same boat, aren't you? You're all, it's probably, for a lot of people, it's probably their first experience away from home for the first time. So I think that feeling of camaraderie, being together, you know, you quickly settle into university life. It's amazing how quickly, I remember how daunting it felt waking up the first morning after my parents had dropped me off. And I remember looking in the mirror in the morning after and thinking, wow, this is it. I'm at university now, you know, because everybody talks about it for so long, don't they?
My mum was adamant that she was to make my bed for me when I moved in. She was like, I'm going to miss doing this for you, so let me make your bed. It's like, this is really embarrassing, Mum. I'm meant to be an adult now.
Oh, I absolutely love that. So did you have the cushions? Was it all homely? Did your room look all homely? Did you have your home comforts?
Yeah, so the first thing my mum did was disinfect every single surface possible.
No, got to be done.
Important.
We're going to buy as much Dettol as possible and we're going to pour it over everything. And I was like, if you want to do that for me, go ahead. I am not going to complain.
I love that.
That was great. And I think I'm one of those people who had slightly a little bit too much stuff to fit in the room. But then that's a good segue into what you should bring. One of the things that I really, really needed, and thank God my mum got me these IKEA organizers.
Oh.
So yeah, so they're like basically these fold away little, cloth organizers, I think.
Do you hang them up in your wardrobe?
There are ones that you could hang up. There's ones that you could stack on top of each other inside your cupboard, or the ones that you can put in your drawers. So like organizing underwear and socks and stuff like that honestly saved my life, because otherwise they would have just been all over the place and
on the floor.
Yeah, on the floor, like
students aren't like that at all. Students are so tidy.
Yeah. When you've got an organizer, you're going to be tidy, aren't you?
Yeah, so those are really great, especially considering in halls, your storage space, like personal storage space, is really not going to be as extensive as you'd hope or as much as you'd have at home. So maximizing the utility of the space that you have is a key in being able to get through the year, essentially. So try to bring as many organizers as possible, and you get like a whole kit at IKEA. I sound like I'm promoting IKEA. I'm really not.
Yeah, actually, we said there are other retailers available.
It's just I am slightly obsessed with IKEA. It might be unhealthy, but it's okay.
Where is the closest IKEA to the campus?
Wembley, isn't it?
Wembley, yeah. It's the one in Wembley.
Yeah.
So if you walk to Uxbridge Town and then take the tube, you should get there in about 40 minutes. And if you go with your friends, you can always get like a cab back, which may not be the most, budget friendly, but if it's all of you together, you're probably going to end up paying like much less than you would if you were to hire like movers or something like that, right? So,
well, by the sounds of it, Maddie, you needed a minivan to get back from IKEA.
my wallet didn't like my IKEA purchases, but it's okay.
I love that. And what I want to know, did you guys have all your, nice pictures out, fairy lights, just to make it feel homely? Or was that just me?
I had a ton of fairy lights up, and I'm someone who's obsessed with taking Polaroid pictures of everything with my little camera.
She is. I can prove that. She is.
So I have my little Polaroid camera, and I have pictures of all my puppies back home and my family, and I just having them up and seeing them every day. Just it makes it a lot easier.
Definitely. Oh no, that is so lovely, Maddie. I've just got this vision now of you in this puppy parlor. That's your room, a puppy parlor.
Honestly, it is. My friends got me a poster that said my mum is a crazy dog lady. So that's like my puppy saying that about me. So I think it's like pretty apt.
I love that. So I suppose we've covered nearly all bases. Oh, just one last thing. I love it. This is when it's on your mind, you've got to say it, regardless of whether it links with
If I
anything.
know what it is.
And the one bit of knowledge I want to pass on to anyone out there listening to this is, if you're starting university for the first time and you're sharing a toilet with anyone, don't worry, this is kept clean, all clean. Bring flip-flops. That's my
very important. Yes, definitely.
So yeah, definitely a vital piece of equipment. I love it. So industrial equipment, flip-flops, this is what you need.
Or even slippers as well. You know, when you're walking from your bedroom to the kitchen, you don't want to be putting on a pair of shoes every time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just something to put on easily. Nice.
And I have to say now, guys, good luck to anyone entering a shared kitchen for the first time. I don't want to scare you, because it will be fine, but all I'd say is maybe count to 10 before you go into it, and just let things slide. It's fine if it's messy. Sometimes that's just the way the world goes. So
but at least the good thing is, when you live in a dorm, like, you guys have cleaner,
of course,
for the communal area.
That's true, Min. That's true. So actually, but that's only like once a week, isn't it?
Depends,
I suppose.
One can ask for that, honestly. So I extremely love the days when the cleaner used to come, because it's just like, finally, thank you.
I love that. And I suppose any other, before I move on to, because we get that not everyone lives in halls. Are there any other? Do you think there's any other sort of pearls of wisdom that we need to pass on about when you're living in halls?
I do have a couple of things, actually. So
take it away, Maddie.
For a good shout. Other things that you probably want to bring for your room are extension cables and adapters, because you're not going to have plug points right near your bed. You're probably going to have to deal with a plug point that's a few feet away. So bring an extension cable if you want to lie in bed and watch something, or just you want to do class from bed. Sometimes that's just the vibe.
Maddie, we're not promoting that. We're not.
Library is a good place to go.
Library is a great place
your lessons, everyone.
Also, Primark and Poundland, they are your best friend.
Yeah, 100%.
That is also true.
I love that.
I think bring extra hangers is a good one. And also, just as a precaution, keep your cutlery, so your plates, your knives and forks, in your room, which might be a little bit safer.
Just in case there's a fork gate going on and all the forks go missing. No, that actually happened to me at university. So I called it fork gate, because I was like, where are all the forks? It's the same in the office, Holly, isn't it? There are never any forks.
No. Well, there's a common theme here. Maybe it's you, isn't it?
Maybe I'm the thief. Hands up, guys. Sorry, I've been caught red-handed. Right, okay, moving swiftly on. No. So we get that not everyone will be living on campus, although it is a great opportunity to be bang smack in the middle of all the action going on at the university. I suppose in that sort of my work mind is coming on there, and I'm thinking, do reach out to the Brunel Accommodation Centre if you do want to find out more about that. But anyway, that's that done. So I know, Min and Amal, you're not actually living on campus, are you? So maybe just some, where is good to live? If you're not on campus, where do you live? Obviously with a roof over your head, when
close by, hopefully. I live in Wales. Nothing wrong with Wales, it's just far away.
Take it away. Yeah.
So because I started as a mature student, I kind of needed more privacy. I didn't need that party environment. I didn't need that student environment. Even though I'm a student, I needed more quiet environment. So that was my main thing. And also, I lived in London before when I started uni. So I had a part-time to go back to, and it was central London. Right, so going to central London from Oxbridge every other day can be quite a commute. So what I decided, I planned halfway to do my work and halfway to the uni. So I lived in Wembley at first, because Metropolitan is a nice line. It goes straight, but I didn't like the area. So I just
Right.
want to add, if you're not going to live on campus and you don't have family or friend in London, so you have to look for the area yourself, walk the area first, day and night. Because
Yeah.
the safety is very important. That should be your main thing. Like, you should feel safe in your area, and I didn't feel safe in my area. Wembley area, like Wembley has a lot of pot.
Huge,
and
isn't it?
Yeah, just the pot that I lived wasn't very nice. It was a bit dodgy. And I went for viewing in daytime, and me and my boyfriend just drove. That was the thing. I should have walked myself.
Right.
not
As in the
being with
route that you would have done if you, yeah, of course.
Because I was with my boyfriend. Obviously, I will feel safe. But when I lived alone, it wasn't the case. So that's why I moved to West London now, and it feels way safer.
Good. No, I'm glad. And I think you find that anywhere you go, you know, you're going to have some good parts and some not so good parts. So yeah, definitely go look around.
Definitely. And I suppose, again, I know it will all depend on price, but if you are living closer to it, if you're living by yourself, I think being as close to a tube station, or however you're going to, or the bus stop, whichever means of transport you're going to be using, if you're living as close to there as you can, you will feel you've then got a really short walk and hope, you know, I mean, I personally feel super, super safe. I'm in Harrow, and that's obviously, and I'm commuting into work. That would obviously recommend Harrow, but again, Harrow, similar to Wembley, a huge area. So
and Francesca, your area is posh area. I know that. That's a nice area. I can't afford that area.
Oh, dear. But no, I think it all depends. I think you've got to go see the area for yourself, haven't you? And can you see yourself living there? Yeah, because Amal, where are you?
So I haven't had the privilege of going out and living by myself. So I still live with my parents. And luckily enough, I am literally a 10-minute walk away from Brunel.
Oh,
so
wow.
I don't have much leaving the house unless I have to go to uni. So yeah, that's my commute.
But where do the students, oh, I suppose a lot of the students probably have tried to live in Uxbridge.
Yes.
But are you aware of any other areas nearby which is quite sort of student focused, you know, quite a few students live there, or do they all tend to try and stay in Uxbridge?
So I know one person that I actually helped find a flat to live in, and it was like nearby. It's somewhere on Uxbridge Road, so it has the word Uxbridge in it, so it's nearby. So but Uxbridge Road, don't be deceived, is a very long road. So no one gets confused with that. A very long road. But anyway, I helped him look for a flat, and he found one. It was like a shared house. So he had roommates, stuff like that, and he really enjoys the place. So like Francesca has already said, just be somewhere where there's transport near you. If there's not, you'll struggle a little bit, but you need to aim to find easy transport. Let it be bus, let it be train. Just, it will make your life much easier.
Definitely.
I think my little work head is coming on now. If you are commuting, it is worth getting the TfL travel card as well. So you can get a student card with discounted rates. You can go on their website, and if you need any help, then just reach out to us. Just thought I'd slide that in there.
Oh, very smooth, Holly, very smooth. And that's transport for London.
30.
So, yeah. I love that. I mean, God, we're all jumping on that now. Get the discount, get the student discount. I love that. Oh, I think we've covered all bases on that front.
But I would just like to add, just in general, if you're living on campus or not on campus, I just had like 3 main tips of what you should probably keep in mind. One thing that I did, which was, and I'm going back to what Maddie has done, I went to IKEA and I bought myself a nice sturdy table for me to at least put my laptop, and I can sit there and do my Zoom meeting, so that I'm not just laying in bed, because my bed is literally right next to my table. So,
not like Maddie.
So my aim is to just let it be. I woke up 2 minutes before my lecture. I'm going to jump out, but I'm going to sit at my table and do my Zoom meeting. So get something, because this was
a good desk.
Yeah, and this wasn't even overly pricey. I think it was like £30, and it does the job. you don't need something over like lots of space, just a simple desk.
Definitely.
And then if you're living with people, let it be like shared house, or with me, I'm living with my parents and my sister. It's very important to have some sort of communication between all of you to say that, guys, I have a lecture at 9 a.m. So either you can come in, but don't disrupt me, or stuff like that. Just be very like informative of what your schedule looks like with people that you're living with, so that they can also understand that, okay, she's off limits. She's right now busy doing something. And yeah, I think that's what I have. Oh, and this is actually pretty fun. In the beginning of the term, it was my first time going onto campus and like learning where the rooms are. So what me and my like course group chat, what we chose to do is we met up near the university bus stop, and we all went to and inside the university to figure out where we need to go together, which helped all of us make friends like instantly. So quick tip is, if you're first time commuting and you know people that are going on like the same day as you, plan to meet up. You can make friends.
Oh, I love that, Mal.
100%.
Yeah, that's it.
We will be having campus tours actually during the
Yeah.
during induction week, welcome week next week. So
Yep.
hopefully that will familiarize all the students with the campus as well. But no, great top tip, Emma. I love that.
Yep. Yep.
So I suppose that then takes us on to the second topic of the podcast. I probably don't even need to announce that, do I? But I felt the need to. Now, the question that I think is probably on every student's mind when they go to university for the first time is, how do I cook? Well, maybe not how, because you might already know. I'm not going to make assumptions here, but what do you cook as a student? You know, first time away from home. Some people may not have much experience with cooking before. Oh, wow. And what I want this little section to cover, guys, is that a student's diet is more than just pasta. Okay.
More than just
Definitely.
carbs.
Pasta is good, you know. If you want pasta, have pasta.
Oh,
This is true.
Yourself. Yeah.
But I want to
God.
break that sort of stereotype that all students eat is pasta. But then
Yeah.
again, maybe it is true.
Well, you got to think as well, these students are on a budget, you know. I think it's really important. I did not think about that when I started university. I was like, I have this money, I can go and buy whatever I want, you know.
Were you on like the finest steak?
Oh,
Holly?
well, not quite, but it was more the chocolate. I was like, I need all the chocolate in the store. Yeah, that didn't last very long. No, so yeah, go out with a budget. I think that's the best way. You know, see what you have coming in and what you can afford to spend. You know, look for the cheap supermarkets. Not promoting
Lidl.
any. Yeah.
Oh gosh, other options are available. Sorry,
Yeah.
a little bit straight. Lidl, Aldi. No,
Yeah.
okay, as for Tesco, Sainsbury's, yeah, you name it. I'll just
Iceland.
Iceland, yeah, great one. No,
Lidl is very cost effective. I personally think, like, I went the other day, I bought 2 bags worth of things and I spent under £10. So Lidl is very cost effective, and the bakery is amazing.
And there is one in Uxbridge, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
There's 2 in Uxbridge. There's 2.
I feel like we've done the biggest faux pas there, literally just going with one supermarket. Holly, you had it covered from the start, and then I just opened my mouth.
No, it's good. They are great supermarkets. Cheap and cheerful. That's what we want.
I love that. I mean, but what if we were looking at, I love it because I know we have got current students on the podcast, but what do students cook? You know, what I suppose fun cheap ways. Oh, cooking together is a great way to do it, I think. And also as a way to get to know your flatmates, get them together, cook a meal. That's also really cost effective, isn't it?
It is.
But what dishes? I mean, where do we start?
I mean, I don't mind going off with the British classics. I mean,
Holly,
you might as well.
Are you assigned to the British classics section? I love it.
Well, it's my expertise. No, actually, going off what you said with like bringing your flatmates together, we actually cooked a massive roast dinner. So all of us took a section each. So I was in charge of the potatoes because I do make the best roast potatoes. But yeah, and then you all bring your dish forward. It was so lovely because we had like a joining flat as well. So they all like came in, we all squished around the table.
Oh, I love
Obviously this was not during COVID times. But yeah, it honestly was so much fun. So yeah, try a roast. You can get all your veg in as well.
Well, and a roast dinner isn't something that you'd cook for one person, is it? So it's a great way of getting everyone together. And that is definitely a British classic. Us Brits are obsessed with roast dinners.
Every Sunday, you know, if there's any day to do it on a Sunday.
Oh, yum. Loads of gravy.
Oh
yes, gravy is a must.
I'm really hungry now.
Yeah, maybe we should put a disclaimer out the beginning. You know, if you haven't had any food yet, you might want to go and grab something now.
Yeah, definitely. But no, you know, you have your fish and chips, you know, sausage and mash. Also, one of my favorite, shepherd's pie.
Oh, yes. And the great thing with that is that because you're never going to just cook one portion, are you? So then you've got enough to last you for the next day.
Yeah.
And the day after. Exact freezer will be your friend. It will when you're a student, honestly, just pop it in the freezer, it'll last forever. But remember to defrost. Yeah. Oh, I love that. So getting students together. Oh, actually, I think we've got someone on this call who is a little bit of a chef themselves, aren't they, Maddie? I've heard along the grapevine. Maybe Min may have told me once upon a time how great your cooking was. But come on, Maddie, enlighten us with your specialities in the kitchen.
Okay, chef is generous, just as a disclaimer. I like to eat, and I ideally would like to cook for myself most times. So that's just, you know, Google, but my best friend with the recipes and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm South Indian, so that doesn't really give me a lot of options in terms of home cooking around London. I've noticed because just everything here doesn't really taste that like home food to me. And the easiest way that I can get it is to cook it myself, essentially. So I've experimented a bit with the cooking, I would say.
Oh, I love that, Maddie. Are there not sort of special India, you know how they'll have shops, you know, maybe for Japanese products, or, you know, do they not have like an Indian store nearby where you can get actually authentic?
Well, there actually are, but it's I'm very picky with the food sometimes, so this might sound like a little bit OTT, but Sri Lankan places are really great for Indian spices. So I'm speaking about South Indian specifically, because if you want North Indian food, South all basically like you never left North India. So, and it's right next door. Get on the bus, get there, get basically back in like North India again. So don't have to worry about that. But anyone who likes South Indian food or has tried it maybe, not as many options as the North Indian food, unfortunately. So Sri Lankan is great because Sri Lankan is pretty similar to South Indian food, actually. So yeah, and there's this, well, I live in Oxbridge now, but there is a Sri Lankan off-license shop. Again, not a promotion, but it's just, it's
for your information.
Oh.
There we go.
The gentleman's lovely. He's like a friend of mine now. They have pretty great like Indian spices and stuff like that. So you can check it out if you can't find anything in the bigger supermarkets, which you usually can. So yeah, that's pretty great. But in terms of cooking on a budget, I would say South Indian food is pretty easy to cook on a budget. And it's pretty healthy as well, because we eat a lot of like half cooked / raw vegetables, and each meal has at least 2 or 3 different types of vegetable involved in it. Because we like a healthy diet like that. Plus we eat a lot of rice. So an interesting option if you want to look into like diety kind of food that's also tastes pretty great in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Have you ever tried rice and gravy?
Oh, Holly.
Rice
Go knock it till you try it.
Like okay. British gravy?
Yeah.
Holly, when did you come about having rice and gravy?
Well, my uncle's Filipino, so he has rice with every single meal. So we actually have rice with our roast dinner. And then you
That's the
obviously have
first.
gravy. Try it.
I can't say I have.
Interesting.
But Holly, remind me to cook for you next time I see you.
Excited.
And Amal, would you deem yourself a bit of a cook or
No, not really. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm still living with my parents right now and not moving out. I'm not ready for that level of independence.
no, Amal, make the most of it whilst it lasts. Trust me.
Hopefully next year, I think I might choose to move out. It would be an enjoyable experience. Yeah.
Definitely, I love that. Min, what about you?
I wouldn't say I'm a good cook, but I can live with my cook.
No, I think that's the bottom line, isn't it? It's like,
Survival.
okay, student cooking. Can you cook to survive?
Yeah,
That's-
literally a survival thing. So mainly, as you can see, East Asian girl from Korea, I eat fried rice 24/7, like non-stop. I cannot eat the whole pizza, but I can have like 5 portions of rice, and that's Korean.
I love
So
that.
what I do, thanks to K-pop and everything, I can see kimchi everywhere. So I don't need to go far away for like big Korean shop. It doesn't have to be like that anymore. Like I can literally go to Tesco and they have kimchi. Thank God.
Amazing.
So what I do, I get kimchi and rice, an egg, some onions, some spring onions, loads of garlic because that's the main thing of us. Loads and loads and loads of garlics. And I just fry it all together and that actually tastes really nice. And you just need a little bit of oyster sauce. And that's my key.
Ooh.
Is that the special
Wow.
ingredient?
Oyster sauce goes everywhere. That's my gravy.
Yes.
You don't eat
Amazing.
it just as it is, but when you fry it, oyster sauce it is. It just tastes so good. You can mix it with everything. If you need to eat some more veggie, what I do, I fry white cabbage with bacon and oyster sauce and put it on the top of rice, and I just eat it, mix it all together and eat it. Nutritious, healthy, delicious.
I can actually attest to how delicious that is because she's made it for me before. It is genuinely amazing.
Oh, I love that.
Baking just makes it better, doesn't it? So
So
And
I think
oyster sauce is so cheap. Like when you go to like any Asian shop, big bottle, it'll be like $2.50
wow.
and it'll last for 3 months.
Oh, Min. So what I'm taking away from all of this is that, okay, so I need to come to Min's for the best egg fried rice. I'll come to Amal's for some lovely home cooking, which we all need here and there, don't we? We need.
Yeah.
I'll be coming to Holly's for some questionable rice and gravy. And Maddie for some South Indian treats. I can't wait. Right. When am I coming round?
What are you
Sometime
bringing to
next
the
week.
Yeah,
table?
my pasta, student and I love that. now I know we just had a bit of a giggle, but now I'm thinking, okay, we need to cover the core. You know, what do you need to do in your first couple of weeks when you arrive at university? I mean, I know I keep saying overwhelming, but it is a big deal. It is a big deal. You know, coming to university, you're thinking, wow, what do I need to make sure I've got in order? What do I need to make sure I've collected? You know, this is where I pass over to Holly. I think Holly, you can cover all bases when it comes to this. I know we've been telling students left, right, and centre what they need to do, so we can.
I mean, you're so kind to pass the baton over. I'll do all the talking.
You don't want to listen to me for any longer, you know.
All right, quick. Here's my chance. No, yeah, exactly. Well, first and foremost, if you have any questions, you know, you don't know what to do, then please just reach out to Student Services. You know, me and Francesca, we're here to help you. Whether that be by email, whether you call us up or come to reception, even come and say hello. You know, we're back in the office now. We haven't seen that many faces over the past 2 years, so it'll be great to meet you in person when we can. So yeah, come see us. But in your first few weeks, make sure that you sign up to the medical centre. Very important. And also open a bank account if you're an international student. You will need a student status letter. So just reach out to us for that. We can provide that to you. I've already mentioned the travel TFL card. So if you just go onto their website, and we will need to stamp it as well. So again, come into the office and we can provide that for you. Yeah, I guess, go and get your student cards, very important, so you can get into buildings.
So that's from the student centre. Yes, so you work, everything's on campus, isn't it? So just but the student centre, your student card, and get international students your BRP, so your biometric residency card. So you'll also be able to collect that from the student centre or post office, depending on what you've organised. But I love it. God, we've been very official there. But it is important to know these things, because I think I wasn't really aware of it when I go on, Min.
Can I add to the medical centre if you're not on campus?
Yeah, no, of course.
Because if you're on campus, Brunel has the medical centre, so it's quite easy to register. But when I tried to register, I was out of the boundary, so they rejected me. So what you have to do, you just literally just go to NHS website and find GP near me. And you just need to go through the reviews, maybe, and just check how they treat the patients. And then you decide and just call them if they're taking any new patients. And then it's very easy to register from there.
Amazing. No, I mean, and I have to say, I mean, we're so lucky to have the NHS in the UK, and so it's open to all students when you arrive. So do make sure that you do register at the a GP surgery near you, or if you are within the boundaries of the Brunel Medical Centre, do sign up to that. No, because it's key.
It's good to do that within your first week as well. You don't want it to get to the point where you might come a bit ill with a common cold, it happens, but you want to already be registered rather than having to try and organize that when you're not feeling very well.
Oh, definitely. And I think they're prepared they know that students, their busiest period for registrations will be in those first couple of weeks of any intake at the university. So they'll be prepared for it. So no, definitely. Oh, I love that. Look at us. We're so official all of a sudden, But no, these are important things for students to know. I mean, I wish that I'd been told all of these things. I think I obviously went into it like a headless chicken when I went to university. I didn't have a Scooby-Doo what I was doing.
She turns out all right in the end.
She turned out perfectly.
I mean, I paid you to say that. Now, before I get too ahead of myself, I suppose I know that we've been focusing on for the majority of this about sort of new students, how to prepare yourself for university. But I suppose the end game of university is how to prepare for life. Now, I know that sounds a bit deep, but I mean, we've got the great opportunity to actually get involved in placements when you're at university. And I think we've got an amazing careers hub. So the Professional Development Centre, the PDC, they offer so many great services to all Brunel students, and that includes Pathway College students. And I know that Min, you've been involved. I mean, so you've obviously now progressed on to Brunel, but you've actually been involved in the process of applying for placements.
Yeah, so I have been applying quite a few placement jobs, and placement jobs that Brunel is like engaging with and having a link to. They are like really big companies like Disney. Like everyone knows Disney, and everyone knows L'Oreal. Yeah. It's like a massive company. It's not just like a small company you never heard about. You will know the name when you see the name. So those kind of companies will be offering placement job, and it's majority paid, and it's a good amount of money because it's a placement year, not just placement 3 months.
And what stage is this in your degree, Min?
So after second year, before third year.
Okay, perfect. And was this already incorporated? So I love it. I'm going into like 20 questions mode here. No, because I need to get my head around it. No, was that when you were a Pathway College student, was that already a given that you were going to have a placement year, or did you apply for that when you progressed on to Brunel?
So it doesn't really matter if you haven't decided yet. You can decide it on your second year as well. But for myself, I knew about this information beforehand because I applied Brunel through my agency.
Okay.
So even when I started in Pathway College, I already had 4 years visa, including my placement year.
I see.
So on Brunel eVision, it was looking at stick sandwich student, which is showing placement year for that. So yeah, but even if you're international, you don't really have to worry about it because our visa center will help you. Even if you don't have the 4-year visa, you can extend it. You just need to discuss with immigration center beforehand if you're thinking about it.
Amazing. And so I'm going to be nosy now. Is your placement set in stone yet?
No, it's not secured yet. So it's okay to talk about the company's name yet.
I'm assuming so. Yeah, no, it's your own story. Don't worry, we're not on some like really, it's a conversational chat, guys. We've reeled off every supermarket, so I think we can get away with saying a company.
I wouldn't go deep into the assessment stage, but I had quite a few companies, including Warner Media, Johnson & Johnson, and Trebleport, and L'Oreal. I've been into all the assessments, so I passed the CV and cover letter stage already. And then they offered me for the second interview, which was assessment. And each company has like different assessment, and it'll change every term, like every year. So some of them were video interviews, some of them were like written questionnaire with limited time. And it'll be like a long question. You'll write like 500 words for each question, and you'll have like 30 minutes, and you'll have like 4 questions.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So it's very different by each. But Johnson & Johnson one, I went to 3rd stage, which I only had to do 1 more stage and I will get it, but I failed in 3rd stage. So I'm more placements.
I think that is a really good sort of example of where you've just got to, I think when you're going through those application processes, you've just got to keep going. You can't take it personally. So many people are in the same boat as you. And if it's meant to be, it will be. All you can do at the end of the day is your best.
Yeah.
And so long as you go into it prepared,
I'm just learning a lot because I'm just learning about how the assessment center is different from Korea.
Yeah.
Because when I worked in Korea, assessment center felt completely different. But yeah, it's just a learning process that I'm thinking about. And also, I do want to mention about professional development center because they offer you one person appointment. You can go through the Zoom meeting, team meeting, or by email. So what I did, I already had my CV and cover letter, and I booked the appointment with our business department PDC center because each department has different PDC.
Yeah. So a different special advisor for each department. Yeah.
So our business department PDC center is completely specialized in business school. So they will only link you to the, business related placement jobs. So
Amazing.
They're specialized in that. And they are specialized in your designing your CV to business placement job.
Wow.
So
That's
what
great.
I had is I showed my CV. I literally shared my screen and I discussed one by one what I wanted to emphasize. And what he did, he was like, give me 1 minute. And on that day, he like reorganized it for me.
Oh my gosh, Min. God, so I think that's a little tip. Go to the PDC. They offer great help when it comes to your CV, cover letter. I think this is where I have to mention the Next Generation program. Now,
Definitely.
Yeah, no, so I mean, God, I feel like here comes my spiel to I should be getting paid for the number of mentions that
It is.
The PDC, Holly, the PDC have been running in partnership with the Pathway College. They've been running a number of employability workshops that we've been running for a few semesters now. And Min, I know you did attend at the very early stages of it, but we're building upon it each semester. But no, I think it's a great way to get your CV and cover letter up to scratch before entering the real world. Definitely. Oh,
Because,
I love that.
I just want to add, if you need help, you need to ask out for help. Because when you ask for it, they will give you the help. But if you don't ask for it, they won't know if you need them or not.
I think, as the phrase goes, if you don't ask, you don't get. So no, I think it's having that confidence, isn't it, to put yourself out there. And I think as well, I suppose, thinking in terms, if I'm putting myself in sort of the shoes of a new student, there's never an earlier time. You know, you can start from day one, reach out to the career centre, the professional development centre, and get involved. I mean, it's only going to help you in the long run, isn't it? So I love it. Gosh, God, wise old me. No. Beauty of hindsight, guys, I tell you. But no,
Yep.
I love that. God, oh, because Amal, have you thought maybe? I mean, studying law, there probably would be placement opportunities for you, right?
Placement, yes, there are. I have actually signed up for that thick sandwich of placements. So yeah, I'm
Amazing.
prepared.
No, I love that. No, but Amal, I know you're very prepared anyway, so you don't need to worry. I love that. Oh gosh, guys, look at us go. Well, I think that now brings us to, what time is it? I know it's cheesy, guys. Excuse me now. It's time for a little bit of story time.
Story time.
I love it. Okay, no, don't worry. I'm not going to do. Can I have a whoop? No. Oh dear. Honestly, guys, I love it. But I thought, what's a good way to round up, the first episode of our Pathway podcast series. I mean, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear, what was your, for our alumni students, favorite Pathway College moment. For our current student, Amal, maybe have you got most memorable or funny moment at the Pathway College? Again, guys, I'm not pinning it on you right now. Just I want a little anecdote to end today's podcast.
I just want to start.
Oh, Min, I love that. God, I tell you what, so keen. No, this is what we need. Right, no, everyone, be like this in your lectures. Be keen.
I feel like just engaging everything you can in Pathway College, because I did all the student ambassador that I can do, and now I met two beautiful ladies, Francesca and Holly, throughout the student ambassador. And it's just nice to engage with people, and also you can actually help new student as a current student, which is very nice to do. And if you feel like you had this concern, you can actually tell the new student, if you're worried about this, you don't need to worry about this, because I had this experience and you won't feel like that anymore. Like that, just like that, like you can help out. And that's just a nice things to do. And also you will meet more people. So definitely. I would say definitely do the student ambassador. It's a fun thing to do.
Oh, and I suppose just to clarify in terms, so our student ambassadors, I mean, the lovely Min and Maddie have been our student ambassadors for the past few semesters, but they've been helping us during that induction welcome week period, helping our students, getting involved in the university sort of student community. And honestly, we couldn't do it without our student ambassadors. And it's just great to hear that from your side, God, because we're absolutely over the moon when we've got the student ambassadors with us, but from your perspective, that it is just as fulfilling and satisfied for you guys, really. No, that's great to hear. And actually, God, and I can't miss out Amal as well, because we've got one of our student reps on the call, guys.
Yeah.
But again, it's a similar situation, isn't it, where you're relaying the feedback to us. You're basically the key sort of the glue with improving everything going on within the college. So honestly, I think this is where I do my plug to get involved as student ambassadors and student reps. But it's because you can pop it on your CV. It looks great when you then progress on to whatever you're going to do in life. But it just hones in those core skills. I think, no, don't worry, guys, I didn't practice this too much, but I know I'm going on and on and on about this.
I loved it.
But no, it's just, I think you've just got to get the most out of it. And I think getting involved is the easiest way to do that, isn't it? Right, come on then, guys. I need a funny story now. I need a funny
story. Not a funny story, but just to add on to that student ambassador thing. You can put on your CV. And also, I wasn't expecting it, but Brunel Volunteering Service contacted me because they saw my volunteering hours for student ambassador. So I wasn't expecting it, but I'm getting the award for it.
The Brunel Award. Oh. Yes. No, that's also no. And Amal, actually, you can reach out about that as well for being a student rep. So, but don't worry, I'll provide you with some details later.
Yeah.
I love that. So any more moments at the Pathway College now? Or
I
am I
have
trying to force fun now? No.
No, I've got one. Don't worry. I've got one. So it's kind of like a silly moment because you'll see. So as Francesca said, I'm a student rep. So I have a few responsibilities, and like one day it was near Christmas time and I went to go meet Francesca in the office because I was like, why not? I'd only met her through Zoom. So I was like, why not pop in and see how she's doing? And then she asked me for a wonderful favor, which was, can you get some of your friends to come with you at any point in the day and take a photo with the Christmas tree for like the Instagram or the newsletter, was it, I think. Okay. And then I was like, of course. Like I thought, of course I can get friends to come with me. That shouldn't be a problem, you know? Because there's 2 groups in total in my course. So I was like, if I can't get it from one group, I'll go to the next. But anyway, for some reason, the second group was missing. I could not find them. I could not contact them. So I was like, okay, they're gone. So I went to my group and I was like, guys, I need just like 3 of you or 4 of you to come with me to take a photo with a Christmas tree. And fortunate enough, for some odd reason, there were only 4 other people in that day. So if they weren't there, it was going to look really bad. But anyway, so I got them on board. And then before we were going to go, we went to the library. We left our stuff there because it's very safe and whatnot. And then one of the people was like, oh no, I'm just going to stay here. I was like, okay, fine. At least I've got 2 other people to go with me. And then when I went to go take the photo, Francesca can be the evidence of what happened. For some odd reason, they were like, I don't want to take a picture. Like when we had to take the picture and they knew about it, I was very transparent that it was even like, everyone will see it. And they were like, yeah, that's calm. We won't mind. That's
Mal, maybe you shouldn't have told them. Maybe it should have been the element of surprise. That's where we went wrong.
That's how it felt like. They act like I didn't tell them that we're gonna go take a photo and it's gonna be everywhere. And then also like, no, we're not gonna take it. And it took Francesca and Sasha at least 5 minutes to say, guys, just come on, just take it's not a big deal, come. It was just a mess.
I was in the photo in the end. I thought, right, come on, guys, you know.
You had to join to add the manpower of the whole photo. And yeah, that was one of my moments of the Pathway College.
And little did they know that they were then going to be on the newsletter, full on, smack bang in the middle, December edition. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Amal, don't worry, she made me dress up as an elf and put my photo in the newsletter. So, you know.
We all have our parts to do for Francesca. It's fine.
Just
I hear you guys.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, guys, I think that brings us to the end of the first ever Pathway podcast. I'll improve on that, guys, for the episode 2.
That's great.